Wow. Yeah. I love you. I love you. I do. Let's talk about it. Hence the vibe. Yeah. Yeah. You get me. You get me. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I appreciate it. Yeah, the word cliche I haven't seen spelled out in a long time, and especially with the accent on it. And irony I also love, which is also really funny. But no, we don't have to get into that at all. So yeah, the workshop today is like I feel like it's a really simple exercise. It's called the Magic Word Box. It's like something I did last year, and a lot of people said they loved it. I was kind of like I didn't think too much about it, but then like going back to it, I kind of realized that it's pretty useful. So basically, the whole idea, right, is the magic word box can be used in any form of writing, whether this be poetry or songwriting or essaying, and that's probably not the way you say that. But the whole point of it is literally to generate words. So not to focus on the completion of a piece, because I often feel like we quantify our writing by how much did we write, and then what did we get out of the writing, and then what we feel other people will perceive or receive from our writing, which in the sense of is I think a great and ethical way to be an artist, but does lend itself to being overly critical of our work and of ourselves in general when producing said work. So to like get into that, what does that look like, right? uh, you would literally just take 5 words to make it like really easy. And I put some in the chat so we can start with those. And it would be these words would be written in a vertical format in a box. So I'm gonna write it here on this page, and then there'll be slides for this after, which I'll actually like chip in on creating too, because I should have done that. But so set, met, bet, let, and pet, and then you put them in a box format, right? Like this on the page. So what you're basically doing, right? So stop thinking of them as words in this moment, because it's in this moment, like using your imagination, however you want to look at it, it's a magic word box. So I guess a better word would actually be a magic letter box. Don't even think of it necessarily as a word box. So without looking at the way that those letters are written or the form of them at all, from each letter, or the way those words are written, from each letter, create a word. You can create it adjacent to the box or right under it, and that allow that to be the basis of what we're going to be free writing with today. And then from there, like I'll have a few other exercises that you can use to employ this, like with other writing. But let's just take like say 15 minutes and see, and you can also do multiples of the same, but to make it easy for a basis level, just take from every one letter inside of your now magic word box, or magic letter box, I guess I'm going to start calling it, and put a word right next to it. Also in a box if you want to, and allow that to be the basis of the free write for today. I'll also be doing that along with you, and I'll create one and show you some, actually show you some examples I have made already so you get a better idea. So these were more theme based, where I was like attempting to follow the same theme that I had originally created, and these words I actually wrote more specifically rather than general. So for instance, I wrote in this one, how I love you matters, right? And then from that, I got holding out well, in case loss opens valleys, enigmatic yells outpace. I was like playing with the word yearning instead of yells too. So just like the idea, that's what I meant by multiples, that you may get more than one Y word, more than one S word. That's also the point. The idea is to see like what common words often come up in your vernacular and your thoughts. What themes are you often exploring in your own work? And in doing this exercise, it allows you to also on a level examine yourself and like what seems to come up for you, what themes seem to come up, what words, what ideas. Once again, and in doing so, you can become a better writer because you're actively looking at your own work, and then from it, you can also produce new work. But also like the idea is to examine yourself as a person and a writer. So let's take 15 minutes for that, and then of course like be open to answering any questions, or if you have like yo, I don't get it, or this doesn't make sense, or like anything like that. Please let me know, and I'll definitely be down to explain that as well. All right. Let me make sure there's nothing crazy on my screen. Actually, no. Let me stop sharing because I said I wasn't sharing. And if I share something that may invalidate the grant or something, I'm definitely want to do that. Yeah, I was about to, but then I also thought I was like, yo, I said I wasn't gonna share my screen, so I was like, I should ask before I just like go like sharing music or something. Oh, okay. Thank you. Is that at an okay level for everybody? Not like too much in anyone's ears or anything? Right. These things always get me. Yes, please. I'm so into them. The buffer. It might be too much for full screen. Say maybe another 5, 6 minutes. That was so good. All right, y'all. So, so once again, like, right, the idea isn't to write something, but I did write something to give an example of also how you can take it to write. Oh, I'll turn myself up. Or I need to talk louder. You're saying? Oh, oh duh. Preach, preach. Thank you, Theresa. Um, so right, the idea isn't like necessarily to write something, but more so to create words or to examine the themes, right, that you're creating from the words. So the words that we used in this particular one were set, met, bet, let, and pet, right? And I noticed that I guess I'm just noticing this now, but alliteration works really well with this method, I guess. So what I got from that was using the exact same words, and in one set I did. You could say, well, no, I won't call it cheating because the idea isn't to write a piece. So in the B section, you can see like also examples of where you can just let yourself be free because that's the point of this. But I got some soul cell, epithets, eccentricities, ethnicities, timetables turn, mostly monitoring masses, mostly monitoring masses, extracting, explaining, exemplifying, trust too thin, but 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 everything everywhere evenly, truly tumultuous, touted, longing logically, logistically, enough energy expended, touring timelines, tying person, place, position, examining each endeavor, trudging, taping, tapping. So, like in that sense, right, you can write something from it, but the idea is to create words from it. Because, like, for me, talking about like themes and exploring things in your work, I know that like, well, one, I love alliteration, so I guess that's why that connection like became a thing. But I talk about time a lot. I talk about souls and life a lot. I like to make wordplay fun. So even like the idea of like some soul cell and like I immediately thought about making a shoe line like with the next S, like you know what I mean. But then I was like, no, I don't want to do that this time. And also, like, even that, being able to, like, while you're doing this, you can notice the themes that come up for you often and go, oh, maybe, all right, that, but, or something else this time. So, from these same words, right, I'm going to put several of them that I feel like fall into the same theme. Like, I'm going to put the words time, tables, and turn, because I was making, like, an obvious, like, timetable, multiplication, like a bunch of number references, right, or things that relate to time and numbers in that theme. I'm going to put all those into a box by themselves. Then I'm going to put another set of words that I feel like relate to another part of this poem or to another theme rather that was expressed in this poem in another box by themselves. And then from those boxes, we'll also write themes from that as well. But I'm going to take 5 minutes here myself and actually just look over my work so I can create a really quick like example for y'all so y'all can really see what I'm talking about and then it doesn't feel like way too out there. But I hope like that was like a really good example of like, yes, you can write something from it, but the idea is to create words, and then from those words, what are you getting from the words? Like, are these words that come up for me often? Are these themes that come up for me often? Like I'm saying, time, space, afterlife, soul, like all that stuff is stuff that I write about a lot. Like it's literally as I was writing this because this is these 5 words I have not put together today at all before this. I didn't prepare that beforehand. Like that was literally something that was just in the moment, and that's the point to literally just pull ideas from you in the moment. But also, it's like us, especially, have been writing for so long, having written for so long. There's already things that we can access already. There's already ideas and concepts and themes, even ones that you're like expounding on or still forming that you can already access. So it's like just seeing even more so in the moment because you can just do it with less words. You can do it with 2 words. You can do it with 1 word. What's on my mind in the moment? What am I thinking about right now? Kind of thing. But I'm going to take a second here and mute myself, throw the music back on, create a quick example so y'all can really see what I'm talking about, and then we'll move along from there. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Much love. I'll also be sure to put all this in the chat, Theresa, before we leave to make sure that it's recorded so that people can go back and read it as well. They work. My apologies, y'all. I had to step out real quick. Almost. Okay, so like, really shorthand example. Let me make sure. Perfect. So if you're looking at this one, right, the words that I tied into this box right here is times. It's time, tables, turn, and timelines. Once again, because like times, turntables, timeline, just tying in a bunch of themes there. So from that, not even just being a poem, right? I can already see like a consistency of ideas. You can write literally from that word box whatever you want it. But in the other one, which might be a bit more abstract because depending on the words, so we have examining, we have logistically, we have examining, we have tying, and then we have, what was the other word? Oh, logically. So in that sense, right, like I like to think about like analytics a lot and like logistics. So when I hear those words, I start tying in like concepts of like, but also from a poem like that, you could like, I know in the hands of like everybody in this room and several other people, they could write from that for like ever. But also like the word tying in that sense, right? Tying could actually go, and many of these other words could, into any of these word boxes as well. Because if you think about it, when you're doing the word box, all of these words are coming out of the structure that you originally create, right? The set, bet, pet, they're all coming from that. And once again, our central ideas and our themes are all coming from us, or the thing that we're receiving it from, right? From the same idea. So in having them, like even in having this together, or the words that you already put together, you could already write several things from this, because the idea also, like the next exercise, before we move into the boxes, looking at how much time we have. So in here, take out whatever words you feel like tie together, and just do it with one set of words, so I guess we don't lose too much of the poem. But say like if you wrote one of these boxes and I take out the words extracting from this line, I take out logically from the line down here, logistically, examining, and tying. The poem probably won't. Let's just see. Some souls sell epitaphs, eccentricities, ethnicities. I think I'm not saying that word. Timetables turn, mostly monitoring masses, explaining, exemplifying. Trust too thin, but everything everywhere evenly. Truly tumultuous, touted, longing, enough energy expected, touring timelines, person, place, position, each endeavor, trudging, tapping, taping. Okay, so no, it does noticeably change the flow and the idea of the poem, because you're also removing themes or concepts that you just now explored within it. So in that, you can also use writing that as a blackout. I think I've heard of this concept other places, so I don't want to pretend like I created it. But basically, by using something like that, by creating a word box of themes, and then, right, keeping the word box separate from that, and then going back to the original thing that you created from your first word box, taking out some of those themes, blacking them out, you can go back and then just look at what you have left. And then you can once again relook at that. Do I want to make that a poem? Do I want to look at the particular words? Do I just want to expound on one word out of these list of words that I got? Do I want to use the words that they seem to appear in this line that was created from me using either multiple S words, or an S, an E, and a T word, just literally spelling set out with different words? Or do I have a definition or an acronym for set? Do I want to like describe that? So the overall point that I want, like if nothing else makes sense to overall take away from this, and you can do this with any number of words, even one of them, is to take words, right, the things that we already use to express our ideas, and to just take them from the letter form, and from each letter write as many words or one word that corresponds to that letter. And then from what you've created there, keeping and grouping those same ideas, all the S, all the E, all the T words set together, and seeing those themes that you got, what can you get from that? And then what does it tell you about what you're writing and where your head's at and what you're doing? So it's like a way to check in, it's a way to write, and it's a way to just honestly just create without like the pressure of having to create a poem, having to create a song, having to create a written work or an audio work. It's literally the idea of reminding yourself, I'm already creative, I can already do this, and the ability is as simple as me putting words in a box. So I showcased that. So yeah, let's take like 15 minutes here. Please ask me questions. I know I just said like a lot of stuff, so if like that was like kind of convoluted, I apologize. Still like hammering out some kinks. But in one of your word boxes where you've taken now a theme, hopefully that you were able to pick out through your writing, write just from that theme, just using those words. It doesn't have to be those words. It can be those words, but the prompt basically is from the words in your box of your theme, write from those words and write from the concepts, and what do you come away with from that? And that's basically the whole exercise, to endlessly be able to expand and expound upon your own work at, I guess for us that's literally like the microscopic level, the subatomic level, because you're breaking it back down to letters, but in doing that you're looking at yourself once again. And then of course at any point, even in the act of doing it, you're completing something and doing something. And at any point that you make anything, you could stop right there and be like, well, this is the finished work. I could have stopped right there at the first poem and be like, oh, that's the poem. That's it. But to me, that was just words that just happened to like once again, like I said at the beginning, it doesn't always necessarily come out like that. And I don't think the job should always be for it to. The idea is literally to just remind yourself that you can create. You're an artist, and even if you weren't an artist, you can create, but you're also definitely an artist, so you can create. And I'm gonna take a moment here for questions and or just turn off my mic. Alright, y'all. So going in that same spirit, right? Oh, I really could just tie in the last two words if I wanted to. I think. Yeah, I did. Oh, I did it. Never mind. Okay, so going back from that, the word box that I decided to use contained the ideas extracting, logically, logistics, or logistically is actually what I said. Yes, logistically, examining, and tying. Then, hold on, let me write these last two words so this line comes across correct. Okay, because that's where it's going to end. So, once again, my words were extracting, logically, logistically, examining, and tying. And I got that from this piece that I'm going to read again so that you understand once again like the whole rundown. So actually, I guess I should start from the top. So we started with the words set, met, bet, led, and pet in a word box. Right? 5 words. You can use more or less, as many as you want, as one as you want. You can use one letter if you want. But from that, we got some souls sell epitaphs, eccentricities. I'm gonna look that word up. Ethnicities, timetables, turn mostly monitoring masses, extracting, explaining, exemplifying trust too thin, but 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 everything everywhere evenly, truly tumultuous, touted, longing logically, logistically, touring timelines, tying enough energy expended person, place, position, examining each endeavor, trudging, tapping, taping. Uh, Also, if you might have noticed there, I actually swapped 2 of the lines by accident. That also is like one of the, once again, going back to the idea of looking at the words that you create as just like entities unto themselves, even when you write them in a format of like lines, to once again remind yourself that you can move them wherever. So from that, I took the words from that thing I just read, extracting, logically, logistically, examining, and tying, which then I wrote, extracting data in the end user license agreement. It always says they're examining data. They offer cookies as a sign of friendship, although they sit in the stomach of my computer as uncomfortable space, as storage loss, or maybe value gained, as vault filled, dragon fed. Logically, I get why they ask. Scaling a business takes work. They promise not to share information with anyone, most times, unless they're bought out or outsourced. They want to know if it's okay. Tying you into their info network, logistically, not familially, you'll have to, you have no right to their data now. And that's where that ended. But literally just from that idea, right? So from today, right? We started out with the words set, met, bet, let, pet. 3 of like, and I was going for like a rhyme scheme and base. Like once again, the words don't have to rhyme. They don't have to be even the same letter count. The idea there is just like it gives you, like it's creating a box within the box, right? Because then all the words technically line up in a format of 3 lines or 2 lines or 2 letters, 3 letters, 4 letters, whatever, right? And then you put them in a box. From that, we got the secondary thing, the thing you could call a piece, but if you really think about it, all I did was in the same order write the word. I wrote for the first S in set, I wrote some soul cell. I just wrote 3 words together. And I did it in what I noticed, which may be helpful going forward, in the alliterative format. So maybe by doing that, you may easier, wow. I love when I get excited, but then accessing ideas is funny. You may be able to access your ideas easier. Right. I'm so excited. My bad. Yeah, but from that, you may be able to actually access an idea easier by using alliteration, but you don't necessarily have to. That does help taking a breath. Okay, I see what you did there, but you don't have to. You don't have to do that. It's the whole point. Literally, is that from this, from the most basic of words, right? The most, and when you think about it, the basics are the foundation of everything. So from some of the most basic words are literally the letters in and of themselves. From those things, like how we use, I think it's Rochard, like how they'd be like, "What do you see in this picture? What do you, Rorschach? Thank you, Rosh, thank you, Rorschach. What do you see from this? What do you see in this letter?" And then by using that in a word format, you're able to formulate a bunch of ideas at the same time. And then should you choose to group them all together and call it a poem or a song or something, dope. That's exactly what it is. But then if you take out any of the words and then put them in their own boxes by theme or by character or literally by rhyme scheme, once again, if you decided to, or whatever parameter you set up, you're able to then look at your own ideas and expound on them, and you're also able to generate literal words to then go back and then write about, which is like a lot of, I guess you could say, is the legwork for a lot of writers. What do I write about? How do I, a lot of even new writers, like kids, when I want them to, like, when I'm teaching them freestyle or like even like free writing with them, a lot of them will go to, well, I don't know what words I know well to freestyle. Well, you just said the sentence, I don't know what words I know well to freestyle. Those are all obviously words that you don't have to think about to formulate. Write those down, and then they're able to free write from that. And even if they're like, oh, it sucks, no, you go back and you show them like, and but from that, right? Again, once again, by giving them the words, by giving them the ability to even generate the words. Same thing with word maps, like literally just having someone come in and do the word map. Really the same concept. But by doing that, you're like, oh, okay, I can build, I can create. I'm not stuck. Or even if I am stuck, at least I can still go do this. And then in that I can say, all right, I might not have anything from this at the moment, but I did still just pull all those words out of me when I just thought I couldn't even write 2 seconds ago. So by doing that, you're just still nudging yourself along. It helps with like even those moments where you're like, well, maybe I'm not a writer, or maybe no, you can do it. Like it's, but yeah. Definitely gonna expound on that more. I'll make sure to help with those slides. Because yeah, I realized how this would have been more beneficial, like visually as well. Like even like with a little like word box thing going on. But yeah, I hope that exercise made sense. If nothing else you took away from it, like yeah. Mm. 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 Yes. 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 Yo. That was so dope. That was so dope. Yeah, yeah. This is the one that you said you. This was the one that you weren't able to be at, and everyone was like, "Yo, if I had like 20 minutes for this," and I was like, "Y'all really like this exercise?" And they were like, "Yeah." So I was like, "I'm still like working on streamlining it so I can explain it better and adding stuff to it." But in the basis, yeah, that's what it is. You did it perfectly. That was beautiful. That was literally what that was in essence. Like, yes, literally that was the exercise. So like, that was so dope. It had the acronym feel of like where you literally broke down the word let, and like it was like, or soon everyone tells, like that, and then still that, yeah, and then from that you can build, that's, yeah, that was beautiful. That was really cool. Orange used to be my favorite color. That was a crazy poem. Like, I see, I could call that a poem, but I don't know if you want to call that a poem. But it was, what you came up with was amazing. Your writing is amazing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Always. Yes. Nigga. The wife. Love y'all. Uh, dope. Dope. Thank you so much. Yep. 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 Rain sounds for 11 hours on loop. Bird sounds. Babbling brook with like a leaf blowing and literally that specific. Yeah. Yeah. They exist. Yeah, I'm telling you, right? Is this not the prettiest like and all of them, every time I see one, like I would take things from every one of them and put it all together. You know, I don't think like this one. Like, there's still stuff that I would want here and not want here, but like definitely like this vibe, this app, yes, 100%, like for sure. Right? I mean, Teresa, you are important, so you could sit wherever the fuck you want and look wherever the fuck you want. Yeah, facts. Please go get some of that sleep and relaxation and whatever else. Love you. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Love you, Teresa. Thank you so much. Same. Have a wonderful night. Drive safe. Bye. Teresa. All right, y'all. Yeah, I guess I probably should have turned the workshop towards y'all, huh? Uh, so I mean, honestly though, if you really did, really did. So you start out with 5 words, right? In a box. You got set, met, bet, let, pet. And from that, you get some souls sell epitaphs. I'm really about to look this word up right now. Because, I feel like I've been saying it my whole life. Because you can say someone's eccentric, but the plural of that, eccentricities? Eccentric, eccentricities. Eccentricity. Eccentricity. So eccentricities. Wow. Some souls sell epitaphs, eccentricities, ethnicities, timetables turn, mostly monitoring masses, extracting, explaining, exemplifying, trust too thin, but, 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 everything, everywhere, evenly, truly tumultuous, touted, logically, logistically, longing, enough energy expended, touring timelines, tying person, place, position, examining each endeavor, trudging, tapping, taping, and then from that, create another box of words that you feel like go together. So, extracting, logically, logistically, examining, tying. And then you write something like extracting data in the EULA, it always says they're examining data. They offer cookies as a sign of friendship, although they sit in the stomach of my computer as uncomfortable space, as storage loss, Or maybe as value gained is vault filled, dragon fed. Logically, I get why they ask. Scaling a business takes work. They promise not to share information with anyone most times unless they're bought out or outsourced. They want to know if this is okay. Tying you into their info network, logistically, not familially. You have no right to their data. All right. So like that's the vibe you're going for. And if you watch the rest of this, you should get all the other stuff. So the idea is that you can create, and then to create, you know. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions or what have you. Okay, schmoka. I'll see y'all's later. Every day, I write a happy poem. Pearls of laughter rolling on panes of fire-blasted sand. All of time is a construct here. It has become pulse, spider web cracking as it moves forward as construed towards a future presented as past once you reach it every day. I write a happy poem because time capsules are corny, but the cute kind of corny that keeps you from letting life encapsulate you, and ain't life the time capsule? Reminding you that time zones, time signatures, and time only applies to you, and haven't I figured out a tempo? Shook off jet lag, saved daylight in the vastness of my mind because time doesn't seem to respect my space. Moves me through years like montage, all the music sounding like cacophonies of melancholy and symphonies of acceptable and acceptance, turntable mixed, tables like spoons, sprinkling a bit of that fani and that fani, so I write happy poems. Because there are things I want to be for me and just for me, because people will fit you into a narrative, like Earth fits you into gravitational pull, thinking that seeing someone and knowing someone is the same knowledge, so I burn a happy poem a day, recording the truth of me I'm still defining into atmosphere, so atmospheres were atmospheres rolling on panes of fire-blasted sand, and isn't that life? A journal entry, Wikipedia page preface, words to scroll over in third person while the person is living those words in first person, and isn't time a wheel that will crush you if you don't move? Gem dropping, also known as mining, diamonds from the rough given to you by this world, that's what we do here. Sometimes, though, it just feels like finger cramping, cramming ink onto a page or eating up data on a device or making a bubble for organized thoughts and the sensory overload that is breathing. Using words you didn't make to express opinions that are yours. Keep writing, though. Eating data. Breathing. Because relatable beings don't know you exist yet, and they'll want to. Exist in those intersections where agreement is currency, current, and currently the only thing keeping them alive. And maybe you don't want to be related to. See that as a weakness of sorts. And I can relate to that. I haven't exactly found a point to all this yet. But practice makes perfect, so perfect must be practice. And I've written a happy poem every day. And that is truly one of the greatest joys I think I will ever know.